we did some taxiing practice this morning, which involved basically ground handling with the paramotor on your back. And then the idea is you're doing your taxiing and practicing with the engine and everything. And if everything looks good, and the instructor thinks everything looks good, then you can roll on power and take off. And so that's what we did. All three students ahead of me took off either on their first attempt or their second attempt. Everybody did really well with their ground handling and eventually got up in the air. And then of course it came my time to do that. The first attempt, wing came up, but it wasn't solid. And then on the second attempt, wing came up, rolled on power, and you can start to get a little light as you run. And before you know it, the steps that you're taking are barely touching the ground. Maybe you're really just kind of running in the air, and then next thing you know, you're flying, right? For me, it was very difficult. Today was it was extremely challenging, I guess. I don't know any better way of putting it. I had to constantly fight between the instinct of reducing throttle, but the instructor telling me to gain altitude. So even when I tried to find a good balance, I just wasn't comfortable. Then really heavy oscillation that I just could not get under control. I tried doing nothing, and unfortunately I had to take make a right-hand turn because we had a flight pattern that we had to maintain. I couldn't fly over the runways and things like that, and so you're oscillating really heavy and swinging like a pendulum. And I'm also trying to pull right brake in order to make a right-hand pattern. And it just felt like I constantly had to be pulling on that right-hand brake in order to go the direction that I wanted to go. And at the end of the day, I just felt like there was just so much to process from that flight. And I just was never comfortable in the air at all. And I'm a little kind of bummed out about that. It was the first flight. Maybe a subsequent flight would be better. I ended up coming down and landing, and my landing wasn't the greatest. I didn't butt slide or anything, but it wasn't the most graceful of landings. I was just so freaked out by the time I was on the ground. I just couldn't mentally push myself any further this morning. So we're heading back to do some class work, some lecture, and then I think that they're going to try to do another flight this afternoon, evening. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll try another flight. Anyway, we'll try again. I would say my emotions right now are really more disappointment and I guess maybe that's the best word to use, disappointment, right? I'm a little disappointed in myself. This is a personal journey, and on a personal level, I'm kind of disappointed. So I guess we'll leave it at that for now. Like I said, I'm heading back over to Denellen, and we'll try some lecture and another flight maybe this afternoon. So we'll see how it goes. Hey guys, so just finished up the training day 7, the afternoon session. I managed to get one more flight in. You know, I spoke with Micah and basically told him, you know, look, just struggling with this mental wall where, you know, I know my technique's good, I know my skill is there, I've got great instruction, but the reality is that, you know, every time I go up, I hit this this mental block where you know, I get super panicky up there and I'm not feeling comfortable, and you know, I don't know if that's going to change. You know, I think I've done 2 flights now, 2 solo flights. I did manage to land and flare and walk, you know, run it out, turn, and kite the wing down properly. You know, much better on the second flight compared to the first flight. But you know, we're still dealing with the same issue, right? I don't think it matters how well I fly. You know, if when I get up into the sky, I'm just so absolutely petrified that you know, I'm just not able to enjoy the flight, and potentially worse, you know, I get into a situation where I panic, you know, and I just don't know if I'm ever going to get past that. But I did talk with Micah. I'm willing to keep trying. You know, I don't think either one of us want to quit, right? I mean, I don't want to quit. I'd like to finish the program, but you know, I am absolutely 100% struggling to deal with the emotional piece of this. It's just this like mental wall that I keep hitting every time I go up, and I thought that, you know, taking little whacks at it, you know, on the tandem flights and on the solo flights would help ease myself into that. But the reality is, I get up there and I feel like I'm swinging on a wild swing set with very little control, and you know, it's not very comfortable, and you know, I don't know if that's going to change. Micah says, you know, maybe a few flights in, you kind of hit this breakthrough moment and maybe it gets better, but you know, I'll be honest, it just doesn't feel like that right now. So I'm gonna sleep on it, and I'll get back out there tomorrow. We're gonna try to do some flights at 7:30 in the morning. I will say Micah put me on a 30 meter wing, and the larger wing did help quite a bit with the oscillation. It still oscillates a little bit, but not nearly as bad as the 28 meter. You know, on that 28 meter that I flew earlier today, it just felt like I was swinging all over the place, and like I just didn't feel like I could get it under control. And the 30 meter was more boaty, and so every time it, you know, even if it started to oscillate a little bit, all I had to do was nothing, and it would just automatically stop on its own within like a swing or two. But you know, that helps. That certainly helps. I did try to get more altitude today, this afternoon, than compared to this morning. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just washed. I'm just washed out. I'm just wiped out. So I think I'm gonna just sleep on it. I'll try again tomorrow. I'll see how I feel tomorrow on some more solo flights, and you know, we'll go from there. Until then, I guess we'll see how training day 8 goes.